What's going on, guys? Got a jam-packed session for you guys today. Welcome to the Sunday Signal. I'm gonna go over as far as market recap for this week. What we're seeing as far as news coming out. We should have some volatility for this week coming up as far as in the markets right now. For tomorrow, no real news as far as tomorrow for US. We got Cleveland Fed rate inflation expectation coming out tomorrow. Not sure if that will do anything to the market, but we got a couple of things that's happening, especially on Tuesday. We have CPI coming out on Tuesday, so pay attention to that. If you're swinging anything, make sure that you're considering CPI coming out that following day. Also, on Wednesday, we have the crude oil, of course. We have some Fed chair speaking, not Fed chair speaking, but so some FOMC members speaking on Wednesday. But then in Thursday, we have unemployment and then we have core PPI. Normally, core PPI follow the next day after CPI, but they have it Thursday instead, along with unemployment claims. So expect some volatility on Thursday as well. And then on Friday, we have core retail sales. So each day of the week, except from, I believe, tomorrow and Wednesday. Not much going on, but expect some kind of volatility during the week. We should have um, some good opportunities to trade during the week, guys. If you like the videos, please make sure you go ahead, like and subscribe. Also, just leave a comment. Let YouTube know that you enjoy the video as well. So, with any further ado, let me go to the charts and show you what I'm seeing as far as the charts. As far as gold concerned, gold has just been consolidating within a range. We've been up and down, up and down. So right now we're gonna have some type of breakout sooner or later. We're creating higher highs on that side, but also when you look at this side, we're like right within this wedge. Okay, so we have to break out this wedge. If we break out this wedge to the upside, then yeah, we could see a lot of potential to the upside. As far as for gold, if gold pushes, now this is the thing, because I always say when gold is pushing, the market should be dropping, but we're seeing where gold and the market pushed last week. Okay, so with that said, you have to pay attention, make sure that you're taking profits. As a matter of fact, let me just go to here. Um, um, Greed, fear index. Let's take a look at this and see what it's saying as far as the greed and fear index right now. Okay, not bad as far as greed and fear index. It says greed. What you want to make sure is like over here, when we see extreme greed, that's when we'd be like, all right, we're expecting some type of market to pull back as well. Right. So with that said, let's jump into the opportunities that we see coming into this week. Now, I gave you guys UNH earlier this week as far as a play for UNH earlier this week. On the day, I believe that was on Tuesday, right? So on Tuesday, I gave you guys UNH. And the reason why I gave you guys UNH is because I said, listen, I saw a bullish setup, which is a bullish harami, right? So the bullish harami was right here. And I said, if we break the high, then we're going to go up and hit first target, which is going to be, I had layers as far as target. Those targets was going to be right here at this bottom of this candle, followed by the body of the candle and then the wick. Okay. So that was my target as far as if we broke on Tuesday, and that played out perfect. Okay, that trade played out perfect. We got in that trade as well, and that trade paid. Right. So now that's on a daily time frame. Okay. So if you look at this is on a daily time frame. Let me actually split my screen so you could see. Now, if you look on a weekly time frame on here on UNH, you're seeing the same exact setup, but now on a weekly time frame. Okay, same exact setup as far as the day. Now we have that on the week. Okay, so what you have to pay attention to is we have a bullish Arami setup on UNH for the week. Also, we have a bullish divergence setup I don't think it was a bullish divergence because this one is lower. So it wasn't a bullish divergence based on lower low happening right here, but just the setup in general. Now, when you look on the setup, the monthly already broke to the downside, but we came down. I told you guys, if we broke below right here, then our next target, if we break below that low of the month, then our next target was going to be right here at 225 because that 200 is right there, sitting right there. So that's why I told you guys 225. Now we bounce back up to the upside. Okay. So now because we break to the upside, we're looking at a couple different things right here. Now, first, if we break this, which I think this is my alert already. So, in a sense, once we break right here, okay, the target is going to be similar to this target right here. Okay. So the first target is going to be VWAP. Okay. Because VWAP is right here. So VWAP is right there. So the first target is going to be 268, followed by right here, which is 278. Then the body, which is going to be 283, followed by the top of the body, which is 285 exactly. Okay. Now this is on a weekly time frame. So what that means is that if you're doing options, you can't buy a weekly contract based on a weekly trade. You have to make sure that you have a contract that's at least 3 to 4 weeks out. Give yourself a month for this trade to play out. Now, bear in mind, if this breaks, then the targets are these. But if it comes down by any means necessary, if it break below here, once I would say once it break the 50% line, we could come down here, test the 50% line, which would be an awesome thing because I would really want it to come down, test before break. But in a sense, if it come down, test and break below the 618, which, all right, let's do that. Let's see where the 618 will be on the weekly. So if we break below the 618 on the week, which is, no, I draw that wrong. My bad, guys. I draw that wrong. Should be the opposite way. Should be the opposite way. So let's do that over. Let's do that over so we could see where the 618 is. So if we break below the 618, which is 243.14, if we break below that level, then we might come back down, all the way down. Okay. So just pay attention to that. I don't like gap ups. So if we gap up on the week, um, going into tomorrow and we gap up above the high, I'm probably not going to look forward to trading this. I want to see some type of pullback first. Now, it happens, okay? It happens where last week I had Apple right in where at least I would like to see the setup. It gapped up. I didn't take it, and Apple push like what, $20? $25 Apple push after the entry because I don't trade gap ups. Now, does it cost? Yeah, but when you have your trading plan, you make sure you stick to your trading plan because what can happen is on a gap up, this can gap up, it break, but then it come right back down and continue down because on the monthly, again, it did broke to the downside. So it could catch buyers up here and fake them out and come right back down. That's why I like to see some type of down trend, just some type of retracement. A healthy retracement is always good, and then a break of the high, and then I'll be happy with that. Okay, so that's one setup for next week. I know I normally go over 3 setup with you guys. So the next one is going to be coin. Coin right now. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin, let me just go on Bitcoin and see where Bitcoin is. I think the last time I saw Bitcoin, we was at right at 119. Um, what is that? Oh, like what? All right, so Bitcoin. Um, let's do this. So we're at 119 right now. So tomorrow morning, expect a gap up on coin itself. Because the simple fact that let me see, make sure I'm on this. So expect a gap up on coin if we push going into tomorrow morning, right? This new daily just started, but we close right here on Friday. No, this is Saturday. We close right here on Friday. Okay. So we close at 116. We're up right now 3 grand on Bitcoin. So expect coin itself to gap up. Expect crypto to gap up on Monday if we don't fall back in. Okay. Expect coin to fall back in. But now on coin itself, let me see the setup on coin because I was looking on it. So on coin itself, let me make sure. Let me make sure I sync these. What just happened? All right. So right here on coin, this is the weekly that I have right here. And then this is the daily over here. Okay. So what I'm seeing on coin is it's a great setup to the upside. Like I already mentioned to you guys, coin. Yeah, we could come back down and test the 200, but we already broke above the 200 right here and came close to it. So we don't necessarily have to come down here and test anything. We still just had a 25% percent retracement to the downside. Anytime a stock pulls back 20%, you want to make sure that you're buying that, okay? Especially if it's a stock that you want and you want to put in your portfolio. It's a good retracement as far as 20% retracement on any type of stock. Then you could look to average down or average in whichever one. If you already have the stock, great buying point to collect more. But in a sense, we had gapped up. Remember, I talked to you guys about the opportunity for Thursday as far as coin. Coin gapped up, so I did not trade coin. Okay. It gapped up, pushed up, and when it gapped up, it hit my first target. As soon as it opened, I said 310 was my target. The first one right at VWAP, followed by right up here at 315. It came up to here and then dropped back down. So I wasn't going to trade it because it already gapped up. Now, the thing that I like about this whole setup is that on Friday, we came down and we closed the gap that we had gapped up. Okay. So there's two things that I'm looking at. Number one is I'm looking at the weekly for a break of the weekly high, break of the weekly high. That means that we're going to reverse back up to the upside with targets at 360, VWAP at, so it will be 360. You have 367, and then you're going to have right back at 395, right? So we're probably going to push back up to 400, okay? But I said 360, but you have to bear in mind that 350 is going to be a psych level regardless. So anybody that's buying right now, as far as right down here at 300, they're going to sell. There's some people that's going to sell at $350 no matter what. You're going to have people that be like, yo, I'm up this amount, almost 20%. Let me go ahead and trim some. So you will have some type of sell at 350, but just know that we're going to continue up eventually, right? So this will be a long-term play. Now, this is based off of a weekly. Again, because it's a weekly, you want to make sure that you're basing your contracts. If you're trading off of a weekly with options, you want to make sure that you're buying more than just a 1 week contract, because this does not have to happen within 1 week. We can consolidate here and just move up a little bit for that 1 week. Right now, there's a couple levels that we're gonna test. Like I said, right here at 335, we gap down. So this gap right here needs to be filled. Let me make sure. So this gap right here needs to be filled. Okay. So the first level we're going to test and see some type of rejection because we haven't tested yet is going to be this level at 337. Once we test right here, we might pull back on that test, right? Because that's a gap down. So there's a lot right here as far as resistance is going to play in concern. So right in that area, you might see something where we reject, pull back a little bit, and then continue up into that gap and then close out the gap right there. All right. So just pay attention to that for this week. I will be looking at coin. I like it better if it break the week, right? You can play it on the daily if it break the day to the upside. You can play it on the day. The only thing is, when you play it on the day right here, there's a couple things that's happening. If you look on the weekly, that's right here. The support level or the resistance level on the weekly candle, the body of the candle. Remember, the body is always gonna have some type of resistance or support. So down here we'll have support. Down here we'll have resistance. So even though we break the day over here, expect that we might reject off of here at 319 or 320 and can come back down. Okay. So that's why I said the stronger move will be the break of the week. Once we break the week, then that will be good. Now, on the monthly time frame, we did break to the downside. Okay. The monthly time frame, we did break to the downside with VWAP all the way down to 267. um Bitcoin will have to do some crazy shit for that to happen. Now earnings already came and we dropped down already. Okay, so earnings, we gap down. There's nothing else for us to say, okay, this is the reason why it's dropping, unless something happened with Coinbase have some type of news of a breach, or the CEO does some dumb shit. It have to be something crazy for us to drop all the way down, right there, just right off the bat. Okay. Um, so the bad news will have to come in. Some type of bad news will have to come in for it to happen. Now, my third and last one for the week is going to be end phase. Okay. Now nobody's talking about this, but I have end phase as far as the third one. Now, the reason why I have end phase has been getting beat up, right? End phase has really been getting beat up. But what I like about end phase setup, because regardless, on the monthly, on the 3 month, everything is bearish, right? We drop down here. This has the same setup as coin as far as how the monthly look. The 3 month already broke to the downside right here. Okay. But I mean, end phase has been dropping. Now we did get the bad news about the solar, the credits situation. So expect we might drop more. Okay, we might drop more. But what I'm seeing as far as on a higher time frame is that we have a bullish divergence on the weekly. Okay. So what I mean by that, if you guys don't understand divergences, divergence is a bullish divergence. You have price action going down. So you create in lower lows as far as the price action, or the price is going lower. But on the indicator itself, this is going up. So you're going up on the indicator right here, right? So with that, we have a bullish divergence setup. Now, for the bullish divergence to take place, we have to break this high. Now, I love this candle setup because this is a hammerhead to the upside. Okay. So anytime, one of my favorite plays is always hammers, are inverted hammers, right? Those are my favorite type of setups. So when I look at this, I'm like, all right, so what's the play? All right, the play is going to be if we break above here. Now, again, I don't want to see a gap up. What I would like to see is more of a pullback tomorrow. So even if we open up on a gap up, I want to see a pullback down. Even if we come down to test the 50 on this daily, because this over here is a daily, this is a weekly. So I'm looking at this on a weekly time frame. So I have to give myself, if you're considering this, you have to give yourself time on those contracts as well. So with this, I would like to see a retracement open up. We retrace, bounce off this 50 right here, the 50% retracement on the daily, and then break and continue up. If not, I would like to see where, if it continues down, if you notice right here at that low right here is right by the body of that candle as well, on the body of the week. So if you look at my cursor over here, the bottom of here, which is going to be at VWAP, is touching almost the body of this right down here, which is a great support area. We had one touch, we had two touch, we have two breaks above right here. So this will be a great support area for us to bounce off of and continue up. So the truth is, I would love for a gap down or a small gap down, drop, bounce off of VWAP on the day, but also test the body on the week, and then crack this high. Once we break the high, our targets are going to be very simple. The first target is going to be up here. Now, because if you look left, you got a lot of stuff going on. If you look left, you have right here, right? You have right here, and ultimately you have up here at 3580. Okay, so those are the levels that you have to look at as far as for end phase. Now end phase can push even more, okay, because on a bullish divergence on a weekly time frame, this is just minor compared to what we can see. But if you look again, this is bearish as shit, because what's happening is we're taking that, we keep on falling, right? This is in a downtrend. Okay, so in a sense, some people will say don't fight the trend. This right now on a high time frame, if you look at this is on a high time frame. Like this is on a downtrend, like seriously in a downtrend, but also it's in a channel. Okay, so this is in a channel right now. So coming down here, bouncing off the channel, all that stuff. So, in a sense, if this goes up, that channel will be up here as far as the top of the channel at 40. Okay. Now, I don't use Haikanashi as much, but if we take a look at Haikanashi, you could use Haikanashi as a cheat sheet, guys, for trends. I just don't like using Haikanashi because with Haikanashi, um that just shows you that if something breaks, it's not going to tell you. It just shows you trend, but I don't think anybody should be trading off of Haikanashi. um just like that, you need to learn price action itself as well. Haikanashi will keep you calm through your trade, yes. But right here, if you notice on the day, we have now a green candle right here, which is perfect in a sense. It shows us that the trend might change. So opening up tomorrow, if we see another green candle right here, that shows that we might change in trend, right? So this will be a perfect opportunity to buy that to the upside. So those are my three trades for this week, guys, um, as far as opportunities for Sunday Signal. Again, I trade live every single day. So I have my Discord that we just started as well not too long ago. Discord has been growing, but in our live chat right here, we talk about a lot of things as far as I called out Tesla, show plays as far as within that as well. So there's different things. Come over and Profit Flex on Friday did over 100% on Tesla. We have Tesla swings that we did over 150% on. Tesla trade within what, 8 minutes, did over 100% on Tesla. We was done pretty quick before 10 o'clock on Friday. Did a Google trade as well. So great trades as far as on Friday. So with that said, guys, again, thank you so much for spending the time. Again, go ahead, hit that like button. Let me know that you like the content and you find value in the content, and leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're looking at for the week, and if anything, um, just say hello, right? I have a mentorship that's coming up on the 18th as well of this month, starting on the 18th. So if you guys are interested in that, visit my link, which is going to be in the bio, which explains a lot more about that as well. So with that said, guys, have a great rest of your night. Be prepared for the weekend. We don't chase. We don't follow FOMO. We trade our trading plans. And that's it. Stick to your trading plan. When the alerts goes off, execute your trade. Know where your loss is. Know where your entry is. So that way you're not second guessing or nothing. All right. So, with that, do your due diligence. This is not financial advice. I'll see you guys tomorrow for market recap as well. All right, guys, take care.